Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Road to GT Academy 2013. As you can see, it's on driver analysis, and it's going to be in two parts. This is part 1, the episode 13 will be part 2, but this one's on the GTR driving experience. You've probably seen the run, my second run in the GTR, in the previous video I uploaded, and yeah, we're going to sort of look at, in the 9 laps that I had a 5 lap first stint and 4 lap second stint. We're going to look at how I sort of adapted from the first lap that I went out in to my fastest lap, which turned out to be the last lap that I did. We'll look at sort of the problems I had, so we'll see them shortly. It's mainly due to braking, which was my main issue, and then how I adapted to that within those 9 laps. This is sort of relevant as well to Gran Turismo, because you sort of have to do this when you're playing it, especially on time trials. You have to look at a lap and go, right, how did I do this corner? How could I do it better? How attempt something different? You know, how could I do this differently? Is it faster? You got to evaluate yourself constantly and think about how it how a certain situation turns out, essentially. So what I'll do is we'll just start playing the video, and this is just going to be the first lap. So it's going to be a very cautious lap, because I've never been out on a track before. I've never been in a car as powerful as this. Oh, my car's like 50 horsepower, so from that to this GTR.
So stay in third gear, we're going to go straight out.
So just enjoy this first lap. Look at the track, look at what I'm doing. This is my first lap, and we'll just watch
speed
this.
up. Go, go, go. Stay in third. And onto the brakes. Hard on the brakes. Keep it to the right. Now bring it into the left. Straight ahead. All the way out to the exit. So look out to the left hand side. Round to the right. Nice and smooth. Just hold the throttle position. And now gently build on the power all the way out to the left. Go on, power, power, power. And onto the brakes, down into fourth, off the brakes, turn it in, off, turn it in. Nice and smooth with the steering. At the minute you're a bit tentative, just nice and smooth. Turn it down to the left. Keep going, hold the throttle, nice and balanced. Keep it over to the left, hard on the brakes, down into third. Keep it left, off the brakes, turn it in. Into your apex, build up some speed. Middle of the track, into the left, keep going. To the left, keep going on, power, power, power. Keep going. Alright, bring it over to the left. And now hit the brakes. Off the brakes, turn it in. And squeeze on the power all the way out to the left hand side. Right out to the left. Go, go, go. Start to brake, down in fourth gear, off the brakes, turn it in, late apex in this one, so look to get right round the curve, get into it, that's it, about there, now all the way out to the exit. Don't get on the power until you're releasing the steering lock, okay? Keep going.
So, as you saw from that lap, it was a very cautious lap. As I said, you know, you're going from a really slow car to something like the GTR. It's pretty drastic, and it was interesting. The thing about the car as well is it does mask a lot. Like, I found that even if you put your foot flat to the floor, the car is just so like stiff. You just go, and it's crazy, and you don't really realise the speed you're sort of going in that car. It's quite remarkable. But as you probably saw from that lap, you could improve everywhere, basically, being the first lap. But there's a few problems in my first run, and we'll just look at these now. And this is the sort of thing where, like, I have an instructor on this, but I have an instructor because I've got 9 laps. Plus, they don't want you to completely destroy the car. But he helps explain. He's a really good instructor, and, you know, fair play to the guy. And as he's saying stuff, I'm sort of thinking about what he's saying, and then I'm trying to apply that. But I'm also thinking myself how I can improve that even further. So what we'll do is just watch these first couple of pieces of footage. So the first part is braking. So if we just have a listen.
Brakes. Keep it left, look for the green road as a turning in point. Off the brakes, turn it in. So you're turning in with your foot on the brake still, so that's completely the wrong way you want to do it, because you've got all the weight over the front. So give yourself a bit more time, you're still not getting the car slow down.
So, as you heard there, and probably saw as well actually, as I was on the brakes, so I broke initially in a straight line, but then as I was going into the corner, I was still slightly on the brakes, and because the nose was loaded, and you could see that in the video footage, as I started to turn in, I then released the brakes and then it turned in. So that was one thing I did struggle with actually, is the brake pedal in the GTR. It was very soft. I expected it to be more stiffer, more pressure on the pedal, that I could get more feel for the brake, but it wasn't there. It was quite weird actually. But that was my first problem. So from there on, because this was from lap 2 onwards on the first stint to the end of lap 4, it was really just focusing on braking and the problems I had with braking, and just making sure I broke and then came off the brakes and then turned in, just to make sure that the car wasn't loaded on the front end, and so I could get the best turn in the car. So that's braking, and I had to think about that constantly, even on my second stint, and we'll show you the final lap at the end of this video. So this next one, I just wanted to show you sort of how you can underestimate a car. If you watch watch what the instructor does, and then I'll explain afterwards.
So late turn in on this, we'll go past the white line, now in, off the brakes, get it right in, power. Now straight to the left.
So you probably saw there, he sort of pushed the steering wheel more into the corner, and that was really not knowing the car, and then sort of underestimating how much turn and grip the car has. So from that, he didn't tell me about that, he just, you know, assisted. I then realised the car has more potential than I thought. So thinking about the brakes and then the turning, I should then apply those. So in the second run, as you've seen in the full footage, I did apply that a lot better, and I'll show you one of those pieces of footage where I do that.
Squeeze on the pedal all the way out to it. So go, go, go.
So here we go.
Brake.
I'm braking.
Roll off the brakes, turn it in. Off the brakes, there you go. Pick up the throttle.
Notice how much more balanced it is.
The car was nice and balanced and poised all the way through that.
Yeah.
And this, nice and smooth. Just hold it, squeeze on the power, bring it left, and then harden the brakes down to third. So late turn in. Get it right
Look at my hand position now. I'm where he pushed me last time.
Into the left.
So that was adapting to what I'd just been told, essentially. You know, braking before the corner, rolling off, and going through the corner. And then on the second part of that, where he assisted me the first time with the turning and the hand position, I'd actually done that myself that time, realising the potential of the car. So that's sort of adapting to the problems. I was also thinking about other things during the lap and my braking and things like that. But that was sort of with the car, you know, adapting with the car, sort of finding problems that I could solve in the car quite easily. This next part is about adapting to the track. So there was 2 corners specifically where I was having problems. I think the first one is, we'll just have a look what the first one is actually. I can't remember off the top of my head. So this one, I'll just restart this bit slightly. Just look at the way the car reacts going over the crest of the hill, and sort of look at me and the instructor inside, because this is the main way to explain this. So here we go. So I said, if you watch me and the instructor, just go over the crest.
Hold the brakes, roll off the brakes, roll off. You want to let that power take you through all the way out. Keep it wide,
so as you saw there,
there you go.
with the over the crest is really bumpy. So that's the braking area as well. So obviously the car is getting very unstable. That's a problem. You know, you don't want the car to be unstable. You want it to be stable so you can go through the corner. That was the first thing I identified with the track, and I noticed that more as I got more aggressive throughout the runs. And then obviously towards the end on my second run, I realised where the braking was and how I could react to that.
If you want to get on that, if you get those brakes a fraction early, you just carry the car's momentum it already has.
Yeah.
You know, you've worked for that speed, so you might as well keep it.
Yeah, I get it.
Roll off and then go on, commit. See what happened there? You had to add the lock all the way to the apex because you were going a bit faster than you wanted. You were tentative on the turning. You've got to be committed. You've got to see it through.
So what we're going to watch now, I like to let the instructor's sort of voice come over in the video as well, then you get all aspects of it, is we'll just watch over the crest again and watch how I do it this time.
Okay. Roll off, roll off.
And also what the instructor says.
Little lift, get it in. Just roll off the throttle, then onto the brakes, off. Roll it in. That's it, come on, power all the way out. There you go, look at that, look.
Felt like carried speed then.
You did, definitely. Yeah. It's almost you can get off the power early to stop it doing that bounce over the top, and then just roll off the brakes early to make up for it.
So as I said there, I felt faster, and I did feel a lot faster through there. And as the instructor said, it's like you can come off the brakes earlier to get through the corner better, to make it a bit more stable. And the instant I got through that corner, I did realise in the car that essentially because it's in the braking point, the weight of the car is over the front end. So as you hit the second lot of bumps, if the weight's over the front end, the car's a lot more unstable on the front end. So if you try and turn or come off and turn quickly, you won't do that. It'll just, the car's unstable. But if you come off the brakes and let the car roll through, as the instructor said, you keep the momentum and you can keep going forward because the car can turn in because the weight is balanced and it's not all over the front end where the suspension and the front of the car is having to work a lot harder because of the bumps as well as obviously the braking and everything else. So I realised that at that point as well. So the next corner I had trouble with was here. I think it's called Vale, this one. And just watch my position on the track on the left hand part of the screen and just watch where I'm going.
On the brakes, down in the third. Roll off the brakes, get middle of the track there a little bit.
Yes.
Get ahead over to the right. Right out to the left.
So as you will have seen there, at the end of the braking phase, it's like the corner just goes slightly to the right. I'm sort of braking straight, but I've got to make sure I stay to the right, and I didn't do that. I think it was 3 of the laps I didn't do that, and I needed to adapt to that, which I did once I got the hang of it. But I did find this corner the most difficult out of all the corners on the track. I'm not sure why. They did say it was a difficult corner in the briefing as well. It's just the way it's laid out and making sure you get a good line through, which I eventually did, as you'll see now. And the instructor's still obviously saying stay to the right, stay to the right, stay to the right, because it's so easy. It wants you to turn in early, but you've got to stay out to come in to get the good line for the following corners. So we'll just watch that now.
Yeah, keep it right. Late turning, late. Now get in, off the brakes. That's it. That'll do. Straight ahead. So roll it in, balance the throttle through here. Just control it all with the throttle pedal.
So as you saw there, I sort of made sure my positioning was much further on the right, and then I went through the corner a lot better. This next piece is just going to show you something really weird that I found. I didn't notice this till I got back, and as I mentioned earlier, the sort of speed awareness, you don't really realise how fast you're going in this car, just because the way the car is, you know, is amazing what the car is. So if you just have a look at the speedo at the bottom on these next 2 pieces of footage, and you'll see some very good consistency. And I didn't look at the speedo at all while I was there because I was focusing so much on braking. So yeah, let's have a look.
Brakes early to make up for it.
So as you saw there, I hit 210, then 211 on the next lap, and my speed, if you look at the full footage on the straight, it was always around that. So I thought that was pretty good sort of awareness of speed without even looking at the speedo. I didn't really notice that until I got back and watched it myself, so I thought that'd be quite good viewing. So the final bit of this is going to be me on my best run, and then we'll just listen to what the instructor says at the end, because I think it's quite good. If you've seen the full footage, you've already heard the last bit, but we'll just watch this through now. So enjoy the fastest lap that I thought and best of the 9 laps that I had.
Roll off, get it in. That's it, get it in. Come on, there you go. Bam, bam, bam. Go around the outside of him. Go on, go. Now go bam, bam, bam. Bring it back over to the left. Go, get it in. Excellent, build up your speed. So a little left and over to the left. Excellent. Off the power early, but then off the brakes early as well. Get it in. That's it, go, power, straighten up. Yeah, excellent. Okay, buddy, right, that's back into the mix in this one. Yeah, no worries.
Where's that bit?
Yeah, it's just past that red and white and black bollard. That was much better. Yeah, and not only like, I was going to say, like, to sort of start, because I was thinking, obviously you said about the, you know, the GT Academy, and I've done a lot of stuff with the boys and that, and they are quick once they're in, but what you've got now, by the end of that last lap, because obviously you had to overtake a car, but you're on different lines the whole time, and what you're doing, which is very hard to teach, is you're compensating in the right way. If you're going in tighter to the corner, you realise you're going to have to be more patient with the throttle, you're going to have to add more lock, you're really going to have to get it slowed down that bit more, and that's key. You know, that's one of the hardest things to teach.
I get that.
I always teach you can make one mistake into a corner, right? You can go in too fast, you can go in too slow, you can go into, you know, you can turn in too early, you can turn in too late, because this happens in racing. Cars overtake, you could never always be on the perfect line.
It's how you handle that.
Exactly, it's then what you do after it. You make one mistake, as long as you don't make another one, you'll be out the corner fine. But if you turn in early, then go on the power too early, you're off the circuit. Exactly. If you turn in too early, patient with the throttle, fine, carry on, keep going.
No, that was great.
Really good.
So, as you heard there, he was quite impressed with the fact that I compensated for when I overtook that Aston Martin and I had a sharp right-hander. And I just, like, personally, I'm always thinking when I'm doing anything driving related, like even when I'm just driving to work, I'm thinking about a situation, how it could end up and what I could do better. Because I have a country road that I have a little play on every day. But in that sense, you know, I compensated for that. I realised that I was in deeper. I had to make sure that I still got on the right line on the exit, so I then had a better run through the corners. And that's something that you really have to apply to Gran Turismo as well, because if you don't think about the situation, if you go in too deep or brake a bit late and then don't react to that, or you know, you don't make sure that you come out on the good line on the exit, by compensating for that, then you're not going to get the best times, or you're not going to be able to react. So when you overtake somebody, you're then not going to be able to keep that position because you're not compensating for that. You're still thinking, I can still accelerate at 100%, when in fact you couldn't do that. So that was my fastest lap. I thought that was a pretty good lap at the end as well. To be fair, I was quite aggressive, the car was positioned correctly, I was braking correctly, and you know, I had something to react to as well. So I hope you enjoyed this first part of the analysis. Sorry about the videos being delayed of late. It's been busy with work and things like that. The next one is going to come out pretty soon, which will be Gran Turismo related and the same sort of thing. But we're going to look at, I'm going to show one of my laps, and then I'm going to show other people's laps, and then what I could do better, what they could do better, how you could look at the situation when you're going round lap by lap and things like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the next video.
Good mate, really good.
Thank you very much.